String crossings. How do you do string crossings? Very good question. Typically, I try to sort of use 3 different versions. Number 1 is a version whereby you just use the arm and shoulder and drop the arm and lift the arm, generally speaking in the upper half of the bow. Then in the middle of the bow, I try to use sort of a wrist motion, going from one string to the next. At the frog, I'll try to do something maybe a little bit more with the fingers. And you can see I'm not really using my wrist or my arm whatsoever. Now, you can practice them and isolate them in those 3 ways. But what happens in performance is that you're using a combination, a hybrid of at least 2 or maybe even 3 ways, depending on what you're playing. What one should very much notice, though, is that when doing a string crossing, we really want to use an arc sort of motion with the bow. And you can see from this angle, if you look at the tip of the bow, it's very much moving like this. What you actually want to avoid is doing an abrupt string crossing. Okay? It obviously doesn't sound very smooth. And it's actually lacking the sort of subtlety, and that's really what's most important. One good strategy is to try using 2 strings as you're going on to the next string, and then whether you're going up or down, but you hear that you're using a double stop. Okay, so it's to really feel that curve and get a little bit more smooth. Eventually, you're not going to do that, but that's what it feels like when you're trying to use that curvature of the bow. And the other important thing is just to maintain the same weight in that string crossing. If you abruptly change the weight, you're going to hear that sort of gap. So again, curvature with same speed, weight, and point of contact. And you can do that with the wrist or even the fingers. Okay, it's much harder with the fingers. It's another sort of exercise that you have to work on just in terms of collé and what that feels like in moving this sort of knuckles and fingers. Okay, so again, 3 ways: arm, wrist, and fingers. And then curvature of the bow with consistent speed, weight, and point of contact for good string crossings.